Hey guys, KJ here. In this video I'm going to go over the most recent Sandbox changes and how they've affected my preferred setup. I'm also going to go over in more depth the one I feel has benefited best and show you guys the impact it could have, so let's get into it. Firstly, all supers have been buffed in the update which went live on the 29th of January, with the exception of Blade Barrage, Spectral Blades and Nova Warp, which has slightly brought down in some aspects due to their dominance in PvP. Here's the main changes of those supers. With Blade Barrage, impact damage decreased, explosion damage increase, now deals self damage. Spectral Blades, bonus damage resistance 1 in stealth decreased, total super duration 1 invisible decreased, and with Nova Warp, slightly slow movement while charging, initial charge cost increased, sustained drained cost increased, and duration and damage against guardians decreased. With these changes having an impact on those supers performing PvP, let me know what you guys think. Is that a good thing? Or will the exotics like Shards of Galanor or Gwistin Vest still keep them in the top tier? So, moving on to the buffs, and there was a lot of them to mention, so I'll just say that the base damage has increased across the board, and roaming supers have seen both damage and time in super increase. The most noteworthy is being the Golden Gun. Increased damage to bosses by 40%, and that's including Celestial Nighthawk. That's also news for PvE. And the Golden Gun's 6-shooter base damage has increased per shot, and kills now return a bullet in the Golden Gun magazine. So with these changes, it will be interesting to see if there has been any changes in boss melting supers or combinations, as we know certain buffs and debuffs have been nerfed to no longer stack or cancel each other out, so such as Tether and Melting Point. And further to the patch notes, there was something that caught my eye in this regard, and that was the Sun Warrior perk, which increases all damage output from the Sunbreaker by 20% in PvP and 25% in PvE, and also buffs the duration has increased from 3 to 5 seconds. Now this sounds it could be pretty handy in something like a Well of Radiance, if 5 seconds of buff Trench Barrel Shotgun could make a difference. Other notably good changes are for the Burning Maul and Arc Strider, where the Burning Maul super spin melee attack and slam detonation radius increased with improved projectile tracking. As for the Arc Staff super, heavy palm, heavy range and slam attack has seen their damage increase. I mention these as they were arguably the best all-round free roam supers pre-Sandbox, both for crowd control and boss DPS, but are they still? But when it comes to Tether, it's always been a good crowd control other than an outright DPS super, Mobius Quiver being the DPS option. The changes made to the bottom tree Night Stalker, where it aimed to make the damage more consistent, however it still lags behind other better options. As we tested this out and paired to other tethers, the numbers were still inconsistent on each tether hitting. I'll finish on what I feel has left the biggest impression in my setup, and that's the changes to the Striker Titan, which has seen damage to base, lease and mini bosses enemies increased and damage to bosses increased. Aimed more for DPS and elite or mini boss clears, the Terminal Velocity perk has been changed in the way that bonus damage from this perk is granted. There has been a third threshold tier added based on how long you're in the air before impact, and the damage buff to go with it, and this is explained as follows. Arc damage hits per tier increase from 3 to 4, and the number of hits per tier breaks down like this. Tier 1 hits for 4, Tier 2 hits for 8, and Tier 3 hits for 12, with increased damage per arc hit. What that means is after activating, the higher you are and the longer you're in the air before each slam, the more aftershocks you'll leave and the more damage you'll be able to do. With the Code of Juggernaut, the Fist of Havoc shoulder charge, the energy cost is reduced by 83%, and the Trample perk can now trigger the energy return every 0.5 seconds, down from 1 second, and due to the health regeneration perk, this means you can easily clear large mobs. However, it does fall short on DPS and bosses, as you pretty much need an endless supply of adds to keep your super up. If paired with exotics such as Synthosex, It of course does more damage when surrounded, however it works well with feedback fences, just for that extra area of damage effect when surrounded and taking melee damage. So here's a short clip of the trample perk in action. Anyway, I hope this video has helped. If it has, then please let me know by hitting that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for further content. Anyway, that is it from me, so take care guys, bye bye.